Welcome to step 5 of the 5-step home buying process. The last and final step, my favorite and your favorite, the closing. Closing is everybody's favorite. Generally, everybody's happy at closing. The seller's happy, the buyer's happy, the real estate agent's happy. We're all happy, with some exceptions, but we'll plan on being happy for the purposes of this video. So basically what happens at closing is all the other steps, everything has been completed, all the title work is done, everything is done with the lender and underwriting. So your lender is ready to basically give the money to the title company, which then distributes it to the seller at closing, and we're ready to transfer ownership from the previous owner to you. So basically what happens at closing as a buyer is you show up to the title company wherever the closing is taking place, and a title company, once again, is just a third party that does the title research and transfers clear title from the previous owner to the new owner. So this is where the closing takes place. Generally, we'll get there, the seller will go back, if they're in person, or they'll go back and sign first. Their part might take 15 to 20 minutes, and then your part will be next. If you're using a lender, you're gonna have a large loan packet. You're gonna have to basically sign every document known to man, and all the stuff that you've looked at before with the loan stuff. This is the final version of everything, and it has to be signed in front of a notary, which is another reason we're at the title company, because they are notaries. So they'll go through the loan packet with you. They'll go over the numbers. Now we'll have seen all the numbers and we'll know what we're talking about ahead of time, but this is, like I said, the final version where you actually sign it, it's notarized, it's official. So after we go through that closing and you're re-signing all the disclosures and all the loan information and the title transfer information, you at that time will bring the cashier's check, which is going to be, depending on what kind of loan you're getting, could be anything from a cash deal, it'd be the entire amount, to a 3.5% down plus closing costs, or 5% down. That'll be different, for every circumstance. But this is whatever money you're bringing besides the earnest money that you already gave. This is when you bring the rest of it at closing in the form of a cashier's check, generally. And then, so you'll bring that, you'll sign everything. We will all smile, we'll celebrate, we will hand you the keys, and in most cases, you'll get to take possession that day. Now, there are some cases where, possession, which means you get to move into the house, is not truly given until closing and funding, which is what the contract says. When the seller gets their money, you get to move into the house. Usually that's going to happen the same day that we close. Some days, if we close at the end of the day and the seller really wants to hold off until funding, it might be the following day, which is one reason closings in the morning are sometimes better. And a lot of times that's not an issue because the seller says, yeah, go ahead. But the contract does say closing and funding. So when the loan funds, you get to actually take possession of the house. Before we do the closing, the last step is the final walkthrough. So we'll walk through the property one more time. If we had requested repairs, we'll make sure those were done. Anything like that that we're checking on, we'll do one last walk through the property before we buy it. Then we'll go down and you'll sign 6 or 7 million papers, and usually takes 30 to 45 minutes. And then you'll be done. We transfer the keys, we say our goodbyes, and we all walk away smiling. This has been the 5-step home buying process. Please feel free to contact me with any questions about any one of these steps, and my contact information is at the end of this video.